Well, greetings to you. I'm introducing a short interview here by Emma Hardy, who is a lady you might know. I've interviewed her before, and so have other leading podcasters. She is fighting a battle against the sexual predation and corruption with the connivance of the state in our schools and our institutions. This particular one happens to be in Scotland, but it could be anywhere. It could be in Wales, it could be in England. It seems to be growing and growing. It seems to me, I don't know about you, that there seems to be something wrong with people who climb to the top of the greasy pole in deep state, whether it's politics, bureaucracies, whatever it happens to be. They seem to have a much higher share of sexual weirdos and oddballs than the rest of society. Might be just my opinion, but that's how it seems to me. Listen to the interview, if you will, and see what you think. And if you have any more to add, or if something is happening near you or at your local schools or your local institutions, given that all these situations seem to be, if not sponsored, but certainly turned a blind eye to by deep state, let us know, let Emma Hardy know, and she will take up the cuttles on your behalf, as will I myself.
On the main road towards coming back from the school, there's two known sex offenders. One's a woman, one's a man. All right, the whole community know what they are, and they live on that main drag all the way up. Now, I was walking up there the day, and there was kids obviously walking home themselves and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's just not on. They refuse to deal with this problem.
Hi there.
Hi.
Have we got Gillian and Thomas Bell?
Yes.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Whereabouts are you from?
We're in Balloch here.
Okay. And what's your story?
Yeah, well, I'm a parent of a child who goes to the Balloch primary campus, and a few weeks ago now, I received an email from the school to say that they were closing Balloch Library, which is along from the school, and they were going to place it inside the Balloch Primary. Now, I had no idea that this was happening, and the more I spoke to other parents, they didn't know about it either. And we all get quite angry at the fact that this was going to be placed inside the school. Yep. We have serious safety issues in regards to that the public can just walk inside the school building with our kids. They have stated that there'll be a separate entrance. Well, at the beginning, they said it was going to be the main door, but because we had spoken about safety issues, they said they would put in a different entrance.
Yep.
Okay.
But you're still going in the school building, and it's right beside the actual main entrance. So whether it's separate or not, you're still accessing the same bit that the school, that the kids do. So it's still, they're still not facing our safety issues at all.
You're going to be in very, very close proximity to the children, aren't you? If you're going to any of the entrances there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the fact that the Balloch Library gets used by quite a lot of people here. We're in quite a deprived area.
We're fifth poorest.
So it does get used quite a lot from various groups, from job seekers right through to, well, one person described it as you use it from the cradle to the grave. And that's quite a good analogy to describe it, because it gets used from various ages, from book bug, from nursery right up to pensioners. So where it is just perfect because it's access. People from the school do access it as well, but the fact it's going to be inside the school is a huge worry.
And because it is such a deprived area, you were saying about the sex offenders in the area as well is a major concern. Can you tell me something about that?
On the main road towards coming back from the school, there's two known sex offenders. One's a woman, one's a man. All right, the whole community know what they are, and they live on that main drag all the way up. Now, I was walking up there the day, and there was kids obviously walking home themselves and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's just not on. They refuse to deal with this problem. They sneak them in to our communities, and then they've got the cheek to turn around and go, oh, well, oh. There was a disabled lady a few months ago getting her door kicked in with the young team, right? She phoned the police and they turned around and said to her, we'll be there on Tuesday. Tuesday? That was 4 days. That was 4 days later. Now, what's going to happen if one of these freaks stole away? Or, oh, it's all right, school, we'll deal with it later on. But they've got a 5-year waiting list to get CAMS and psychology and all that because their life's been ruined.
Yeah, there's known sex offenders in this area. Now, we're not naive to think that they access the library, so and they can do. But if this is inside a school, now where are they going to go? Obviously, they're going to go to the school, and they're walking past. There's all the nursery children play outside where they would be walking past. There's also a bit where there's an autism unit, so there's children outside there, and they're vulnerable children as well. So they're walking right past that, and they can hang about there. And
basically rubbing their face in it. But the council's basically rubbing their face in it. Do you know what I mean? So there's no safety thought about this at all.
Also, the fact that there could be people that's been told to stay away if they've got police thingies to stay away from their children. It could be fathers or mothers that's not allowed to see their children. They can go straight into the school as well.
Sit and torment the mothers or fathers or whoever it is.
And it's not up to the library staff to vet people getting in, because they don't have the facility to do that.
You need to be CRB checked to do anything with children, do you not? So it's okay for random people just to bounce in, no CRB check, nobody knows nothing. And the library staff are meant to vet these people, right?
No, they don't.
Well, they're going to look at them, aren't they? So they're going to blame themselves if it ain't the hams. They're going to blame themselves, and it's all down to the council. It's down to them.
Can you tell me about the recent incident in Fife at a school there? There's a story in Fife.
Well, a lot of people know in the press there was a young guy had ordered a gun from somewhere.
Black web, it was a dark web, wasn't it?
I'm not too sure where he'd ordered it from, but thankfully it got intercepted. But when it went to court, the police had noticed on his hard drive he was looking up schools to enter and kill children. He was looking up all the details and stuff like
planning and all that stuff. So
he had all the plans that he was going to do it, and it looked like another Dunblane. So
it was.
If that had went ahead, God knows what he would have done. It just doesn't even bear thinking about.
No, I know.
And that's the thing. Now, that could have easily happened at Balloch if he had got into that building. So, and that's the thing about Balloch campus, it's all open plan. Now, if somebody had entered that building with a gun, my first instinct would be to go into, if I couldn't get out, you go into a room and shut a door and lock it, barricade yourself in, and with all your children and stuff like that. Now, that wouldn't have happened at Balloch campus. It's all open plan. So where do you go?
So he could have just went in there and started
shooting everybody.
So if that had happened at your school,
he would have walked straight in.
Yeah, it would have been devastating. Easy.
He would have walked. He would have been able to walk in there. Plus, also the school's open plans.
Yes, so it would have maximum
he could have done anything. It could have been another. It would have been another. Sorry, I get dead passionate about kids, and it really winds me up. That's why
I know. Yeah,
you know what I mean. But this guy had knives and everything. If he went in there, as I said, I watched a few programs over in America about that, and I think it was Dan Bongino or something said that the thing that saves lives the most is locked doors and keeping quiet. Now, how can you keep quiet and lock a door in an open school like that? he would have just walked in there with that gun, and once he emptied that clip, he would have started stabbing Ewings.
Yeah. It would have been absolutely devastating.
Oh,
The-
no,
the-
definitely.
the risk
Oh, no,
assessment
the
has not been
massacre.
done.
Oh,
No.
I
no.
feel like you didn't think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it can't happen, and
No.
we are rooting for you and all the other families as well.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, we'll make sure that the library is taken out. If it does get into the school, they'll
Yeah.
have to take it out just as quickly, won't they?
Yep.
Yeah, well, see, that's another thing that I think they're hoping for. If they put this in a smaller size, then it's not going to get used.
Yep.
So maybe, say, 2 years down the line, they can just shut the library altogether. So that's another saving for the council.
Exactly.
So I think this is what they're kind of hoping for, to be honest.
See, the one expecting the resistance that they got, they try to slide this under the carpet, right? And then thinking, nobody will notice. But because we've kicked up a stink, that's what I'm saying about the deal's already been done. They weren't expecting this, and because we've all kicked up, now they're flatting. You know what I mean? Because they can't go back on it, or they would have already.
Yeah.
With the amount of people and the amount of hassle they get.
The council's attitude is because they're not closing the library, they're just moving it, and there's no job losses, then they don't need to consult with anyone. But what I would put, well, I have said to them, but no answer, is the fact that I'm a parent in that school. Surely there should be a consultation with me. The fact that my child attends that school, but no, nothing at all.
See, also as well, we've got 1,700 on a petition. We've got 100 people, and every page of the council, everything, everybody's telling them, we don't want this. Now, 1,700 people, nearly 18 now, 100 people, and they're still not listening. So that's the disdain they've got for us in this community. Like, we need you when it comes to voting time, but we'll just not listen to you. The meeting we were at, the disdain that we received was absolutely shocking. Now, I served my country 18 years, right? And I've never felt so bad. I mean, honestly, it was terrible. Do you know what I mean? The way I get treated, never mind all the oldies and everything else.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
a second-class citizen.
Yeah.
That's what I can like.
Who have you got that is on your side that's speaking out with you?
We have an independent councillor, Jim Boland. He's behind us 100%, and he's totally against that. He's the one that said about there is money in reserves that can be used to save this library. There doesn't need to be a cut here. He's going to be behind us if we plan to do sit-ins in the library and stuff like that. He'll be with us all the way as well.
Fantastic.
So,
how are you contacting the other parents? Have you got a Facebook group or WhatsApp?
Well, we were on a kind of ballot page, but we've set up a Save the Ballot Library now on Facebook.
I think there's about 200 people in it now. Line-wise.
So we do that, and then various other groups, like we have Halden ballot pages and stuff like that as well. So
plus we talk at the school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's quite a lot of parents who are involved in this.
And then the local paper as well.
Yeah, they've been helping us quite a bit.
So they've been putting the word out as well if we're going to be doing anything.
You're not gonna just sit down and shut up and go away and take it, are you?
No,
never.
You've got strength in numbers as well, so that's the main thing, isn't it? That you've got the parents' support behind you, and that you're working together.
Yeah, this is the thing. There's pensioners that access that library now. They don't want to be going into the school either, because, like, a woman has said that school was a horrible time for her. So she doesn't want to go to the library in the school. She just doesn't. She just doesn't want to. She likes the library where it is. Now she goes because it's a nice, warm, safe space for her. Gets her out the house. Because she can't afford to heat her house all day, so it's nice for her to go there. And like she said, it's the last free place that's left here that she can go.
It's a decision that's not based on the needs of the community, isn't it?
No, it's definitely not.
It's made through greed. Simple as that. Pure greed.
Now, she's an old age pensioner. Now, the lady can hardly walk as well. And see the upset and the anger in her face, and she's prepared to go and sleep in that centre to make sure that they do not take it off her.
Yep.
Now, it's incredible when you see it.
Yep.
See, this is the thing that we kept saying. We wanted a public meeting. Now, when they said they were going to get a public meeting, we thought, oh, great. But we went to the public meeting, and basically it was just a talking shop, and it ended up an SNP versus a Labour, and it was back and forward, tit for tat. Oh, you've done this, you've left us in all this debt. Now, that's not what we wanted. This isn't a political issue to us as parents. This is more down to our children's safety.
Safeguarding.
That's why we wanted heard. Now, they allowed two parents to go up and talk and say a wee bit of why we didn't want it, but basically it just went over their heads, and they just wanted to have this tit for tat back and forth, SNP versus Labour.
The decision was already made before we went in that building, and the way they would see the way they looked up and smirking, that way you know fine well that's what they done, and they're sitting there like that, looking at the shooters and like that, looking at us as if, look, I can't believe we're sharing the same air.
It's fantastic to speak to parents like yourselves that haven't lost the fight, and that's what it takes. It takes a few good parents that are going to stand up, and others will too. So absolutely,
you'll never stop ever.
No, keep doing
when it comes to children.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Take children. Yeah, fantastic. Keep going.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah, we will do. I've always believed that. Like, I'm a carer for my disabled son, and like I used to be a community activist years ago for carers services and stuff like that. So I always believe in even one voice, as long as you can get it out there. You need to stand up for what it is, and you just keep annoying them if that's what happens.
Absolutely, that's our job as parents. Well, thank you both very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based, and I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.